Hey, Lisa here with the Colored Umbrella. I am so excited. Tech Wrap sent me some of their new glitter HTV, but it's puff glitter. I love puff vinyl so much, so I was very excited to try this out. What better project to try this on than let's make a tote bag. But what we're gonna do is I actually have this sublimation design. So we're gonna press a sublimation design on here first, and then we're gonna do the letters on the bottom in puff, as well as a little overlay for her bow. We technically could make this with HTV, but I don't know. This is just so much faster and easier. So we're gonna do half sublimation, half puff vinyl. So as you can see, I already have my design all printed off. And I, of course, was sure to mirror my image before I printed it. I printed this using my Epson EcoTank 15000 with sublimation ink. We're gonna be putting our design on this sublimation tote bag. I got this from Vinyl Fun. They have my favorite sublimation blanks ever. Also, these tote bags, they just sublimate so beautifully. We're gonna sublimate our design onto the bag at 385 degrees for 45 seconds with like a light to medium pressure. To start, let's just get our sublimation design done so that's out of the way, and then we can move on to the puff vinyl part. All right, so I'm here at my heat press. I have it set again to 385 degrees for 45 seconds. I'm just using my standard swing away heat press. I do also have an auto heat press, but something I've learned about the puff vinyl is that it needs a ton of pressure. And with the auto press, unfortunately, you can't like set how much pressure you have. You can add like pressing pillows and things like that to increase your pressure. But I did notice like the last time I did puff vinyl, my design was a little bit wrinkly. So I wanted to try just this press this time. That way I can really set my pressure up like very high. We're using this old guy today. So the first thing I want to do is protect the inside of my tote bag. So I'm going to actually put some parchment paper inside of it. You can also just do like printer paper, butcher paper, whatever you have on hand. And I'll lay that down on my press. And then also to protect again my fabric, as well as my heat press from any ink that might bleed through. I am also going to put a piece of parchment paper on top of my design. Before we press our design though, I am actually going to do a pre-press for 10 seconds. And the reason for this is we want to get any moisture that might be in the fabric out, as well as any like wrinkles or anything like that. That way our design will go on perfectly. You're going to want to do this exact same thing with your puff vinyl. It's a really important step. So don't forget your pre-press. So now that that's pre-pressed, we're going to put our design, and again, I have my design right here, and make sure you mirror your image. And I'm going to line it up, but I'm putting some words underneath my design. So we're going to put it up a little bit higher. And it's centered. And again, just lay my parchment paper on there. And we are going to press this at 385, 45 seconds. And it's probably, I would say, about like a medium pressure. All right, so she's done. So let's open her up with my parchment paper and see how like that ink bled through. That's why I want to get that on there. And pull off my design. Love this so much. Our design is on our tote bag and it turned out so cute. So let's get our words on the bottom and our puffy bow. I am going to be using my Silhouette Portrait for this. The settings as far as like cutting are going to be the exact same for your Silhouette like Cameo. I'm going to go over all of like the different cut settings and everything. And for the words, I'm going to be using the Glitter Puff black vinyl. And then for the bow, we're going to be using the pink puff glitter vinyl. I think one of my favorite things about using the Silhouette cutting machines is that you don't need a cutting mat. It is just, oh, makes our life so much easier because who wants to dig around for a cutting mat? So we're going to start off using our black vinyl first. And we are going to be cutting out the word hello because it's Hello Kitty. So of course it's got to say that. Something that I really appreciate about Tech Wrap is around all of their rolls of vinyl, they actually have this little guide. I actually save these and hang them up on my wall just so I can reference them later. Now, everybody's machines are kind of different, so you may need to adjust it a little bit, but it at least gives you a good like starting point of where you need to be for like cutting this stuff. The suggestion for puff on here is a blade depth of 3, a speed of 4, and a pressure of 15. I'm gonna try that out, see how it goes. Before I cut this giant word though, I'm gonna do a test cut first to make sure that that is the right cut setting. So let's try that out first. I'll give you a closer look. So be right back. So whenever you're cutting HTV vinyl, you'll notice one side is shiny, the back side is matte. You want this matte side up. If you cut this shiny side, it's not going to cut correctly. So I'm gonna line this up in my machine. And these rolls are great because they actually fit perfectly inside of your portrait. I'm gonna do a test cut because it does allow you to do that when you are first doing that. So my first test cut is going to be their suggested setting, which is the blade of 3, speed of 4, and the pressure of 15. Oh, actually, do you know what? That actually cut perfectly. So I don't think we need to go any higher than that. All right, I think we're good. All right, so our test cut was successful. All right, so good to know. All right, so we're gonna cut this with a blade of 3, a pressure of 15, and our speed, I actually have the speed set to 5. So let's cut it. I'm just gonna confirm that that cut good. Yep, we are good. So now that our hello is cut, let's cut our bow. And again, I'm gonna be using pink puff glitter for that. And I'm gonna be using the exact same settings. So our blade depth is set to 3, our force is at 15, and my speed is at 5. Our designs are all cut out, so now I can go ahead and weed them. And I did just want to show you really quick. Tech Wrap actually sent me one of their new weeding tools. Well, I don't know if it's new, but it's new to me. I love this so much because we have precious little space available, as you know. So this is like an all-in-one tool. And these end pieces right here, they actually detach and they have like different little weeding tools. So I'm very excited about that. So we're going to be using that. So let's go ahead and get this weeded, and then we can make sure it's going to fit on our design, and then we'll go ahead and get her all pressed. So I've got everything weeded. I have my bag. I just want to make sure that my design fits on here, because you know, sometimes when we print and sometimes when we cut, the lining up isn't always like always perfect. I mean, that's the goal, but it never happens, right? So let's make sure everything lines up correctly. So I'm just, and it's enough room. Oh no! See? This is why you check it, guys, because my hello is way too big. I mean, I could just like cut this part out and be like, just kidding. I did it perfectly the first time, but that's not real life. So we're gonna have to recut that, and then I'm gonna just double check my bow. Yay! And our bow fits perfectly. So we are good with the bow. So our bow is good. I am just going to make my hello letters a little bit smaller. This is what happens when you don't like prepare correctly and measure. You just like eyeball it. So let that be a lesson to you all. So be right back with words that fit. All right, I'm back. I cut it correctly this time. So now if I line up my design, it fits perfectly. So now that we've got this, let's go ahead and press it. We're gonna be pressing our design at 310 degrees for 12 seconds. So let's head over to our press. So again, I have my press here. It's set to 310 degrees Fahrenheit for 12 seconds. It's set to do high pressure. So before I even like set it, I closed it before anything was on there, and I twisted this basically as far as it would go. I have my bag here on my heat press, but I know we've already pressed it and done the pre-pressing and all of that, but we want to do that again just to make sure everything like adheres correctly. So I'm going to press it for about 10 seconds. I already have this set to 12 seconds, so we'll just pre-press it for 12 seconds. I already have sublimated my design on there. This won't affect my design at all, so don't worry about that. I did still put some parchment paper down though, just to make sure everything was protected. But yes, as you can see, my design is still totally fine. So we have our hello here, and I am just going to line that up. With my design. And then I'm going to take my bow and do that same thing. Line that up. So now that both of those are lined up, we're going to press our design. And I mean, I'm just going to put that down just because we want to make sure it's all protected. So again, 310, 12 seconds. Lots and lots of high pressure. So, all right, here we go. Let's see how this goes. Excited. All right, she's done. So I'm going to lift her up. Like that. And then I'm just going to take off. It's puffy. Sorry, I'm doing this with one hand. But that peeled right off. It's puffy. It's not, it doesn't look like ramen noodles. Yay! Oh my gosh. You guys, this is so freaking cute. Can you see the puff? So there is our puff, as well as there's our glittery puffy bow. She is done. I love it. Our tote bag is all finished. I am actually like very, very pleasantly surprised with the results. I was a little bit nervous because sometimes the puff can be a little bit on the tricky side if you've used it before. But this is smooth and it actually puffed up. I want to try to see if you can kind of see the dimension of it all. I am so excited for my new tote bag and can't wait to put all of my stuff in here. Have everyone say, oh, I love your bag. I'm like, oh, thanks, I made it. Yay! If you have any questions at all on this or sublimation process of it, the puff vinyl, the cutting, anything from this, please let me know in the comments and I am happy to help the best that I can. Also, in my profile, and linked as well, I do have a discount code for you for Tech Wrap Vinyl. So go get yourself some of this puff. I am so excited to keep making projects with this puff vinyl. It sent me lots of other colors, so I have a feeling I'm gonna have a lot of puff stuff, like for sure. So freaking cute. I love it. I just love it. I love it. All right, but I hope you have the best day ever. and that you make something cute and pretty for yourself like this. All right, but yeah, talk to you later. Bye.